So Peacemaker season 2, episode 6, episode 6. I don't know why I did that. Peacemaker season 2, episode 6 set up, the whole thing with, and spoiler alert for the episode. If you haven't seen it yet, I would click off now. But they set off something that I find very interesting with Vigilante and the character. So Vigilante meets the alternate Vigilante, which is pretty much the same exact guy. Only difference is the Vigilante that we know loves Peacemaker. The Vigilante in the Earth X universe hates Peacemaker. I like that little transition. I think it's going to come to a point, and I think it's going to be really done. I've seen a couple of people talk about this, where it's going to come to a point where the Vigilante from the Earth X universe is going to have to team up with the Peacemaker from our universe, from the DCU. And, he's not going to even realize it because they're literally the same exact person. And maybe he's going to, the Vigilante that's teaming up with him is going to be like, you're a dick and all that. And he's gonna be like, what's your problem, Vigilante? Not knowing that this is actually the Earth X Vigilante and not the Vigilante that we have. It's going to come to the point where the Earth X Vigilante is going to die. And we're going to see Chris, we're going to see Peacemaker finally show some type of emotion towards Vigilante and just show how much he actually loves and cares for Vigilante. And, it'll be a really emotional scene until the Vigilante that we know from the DCU is going to come in and be like, you do love me, There's two jokes that could go there. They could do that scene, or they could do something where Chris is like, oh my God, there's freaking 2 Vigilantes now. I think it's a little more meaningful, and it almost kind of gives Vigilante not closure, but like kind of that reinsurance, because he's literally crying in episode, I believe, 5, that Chris is gone. Then we'll have, they teased throughout the entire show how, not teased, but they've showed throughout the entire show how much Vigilante likes Peacemaker more than Peacemaker likes him. Now you're going to get that realization, or at least maybe Peacemaker will, where he sees how much he actually loves Vigilante, and Vigilante will kind of get that reassurance that, Peacemaker really does love me. He saw me die, and, it's like the trade-off. Like, we saw Vigilante crying because he thought Peacemaker was gone, but now we're going to see Peacemaker crying because he thinks Vigilante is gone. And I think it will only kind of grow the relationship some way. I mean, they probably have to downplay it a little bit after, like, how much Peacemaker doesn't like him, but it always kind of be like that ongoing joke. Remember when you thought I died and you actually showed that you love me? Like, I think it's a really cool thing. I think it's probably going to happen in some way. I don't know exactly how, because, based off the preview for that, it looks like not the Vigilante from the Earth X universe is going with them into the room. But you know what? It could be really interesting how they do it. I'm super excited to see what they do with this, because I feel like there's a lot of potential there, having 2 Vigilantes that are pretty much the exact same. One Vigilante liking the Peacemaker, one Vigilante hating the Peacemaker, and Peacemaker having to maybe deal with 2 or never really know that there is 2 and then realize, that I think they could play more jokes and more kind of storyline with the one thing that, Peacemaker's like, why are you being so mean to me all of a sudden? And then kind of realizing how much he likes Vigilante the way Vigilante is. And then I don't know how the Vigilante will die, sacrificing himself in some way. It'll be a really emotional scene, really, it hit the feels, and then it'll be like a, subvert expectations type of thing where, oh, our Vigilante's coming. Could always play into the fact that we don't even know if it's actually the Earth X Vigilante or the Vigilante from our universe. But let me know what you think of this theory. I feel like they're going to do it, but let me know what you think of this down below.